With all the rain that we've had, the weeds have come out in force. You know, I took this plot over in October and I didn't know what was underneath the soil. But by God, this is not the perfect plot that you thought I had. So I think what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to tackle all the weeding jobs, all the boring stuff, and get this plot back up to shape. Like everyone else is, it can drastically drop to a really bad standard very quickly. You know, I had a few days that I was just so crazy busy with my new job that this plot has been neglected, and by God does it look like it. Right, let's get all that done. Oh, that smell of fresh strawberries, it just hits you as soon as you open the door. Let me show you. It absolutely stinks in here. I am laden with strawberries now. I've been picking off these for about a week or so now. So I've still got my sweet peas to go out. Oh, I've got so many things. The 2 cucumbers are setting off. Everything's looking great. The corn needs to go out today. Maybe even the swede. The tomatoes are staggered in, you know, crops, but I've also got my second dose of runner beans, and all my pumpkins and squashes are coming up as well. So yeah, I'm happy about that. It's all go here today. Honestly, I've got so much to do. The weeds are horrific, but it's part of the deal, I suppose. Right, more jobs. Now I think it's safe to say that the corn is ready to be planted out. I chose this bed because I don't want to put too much out, and I think it'll get less wind disturbance than at the top, because the wind, you know, can knock these over. So, and they're definitely ready to go out. So I've got 2 types, which is not advisable. So the cross pollination can damage the, you know, the corns. So I'm going to put one here and one down the bottom of the plot behind the tunnel, and hopefully they won't pollinate, but we'll see. So I've got a mixed gem corn, which is like a popcorn, all, you know, beautiful colours, and I'll pop it up here now for you to have a look at. And I'm just growing that really for fun. And I've also got a New Mexico blue corn that I grew last year, and yeah, it looked amazing, and I gave some to another plot holder as well, so, and they all loved it. So I'm going to pop it in here now, and the spacing is about a foot, 30 centimeters apart. So I'm going to get these in now, and then we'll go do the rest. Right, let's get this done. And the weird thing about this bed is it's got so much biochar in, you know, eggshells. This is, to me, this is the worst bed that I think of, but I've had so many good onions from it. I think the biochar is really helping it. So, and they're definitely ready to go out. So I'm just going to put these ones in. I think I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. So I've got 9. So you don't want to be mixing those up. So I'll put 9 in here, and make sure you put them in a block because you want them to pollinate each other. So I'll put one there, a foot apart there, and another one here, and I'll do it in about like a dice shape. So there, and there. Perfect. Yeah, they are definitely ready to go out. Corn grows so quick as well. There's the one. So about 30 centimeters or a foot apart. But whatever you do, don't grow these in a row, because you want them to be blowing their seed back and forth each other to make sure that you get a good corn. One thing I will do now as well is I will net this for a bit until it interferes with the top of the net, just to keep some of the wind off and some of the pests. Because the wind can damage these quite quickly. And I will grow things underneath as well, you know. There is the Three Sisters method, but I'm not going to do that. But I will probably grow a squash, which I have planted there. So if I don't climb it upwards, it will cover this bed, so you are still using all the space up. And whatever you do, don't bury these any deeper than you've sown them, because they will rot. There you go, perfect 9. It's like I planned it. And yet weirdly, I don't even like corn, but I like growing it. It's another challenge, but I do like popcorn. So as you can see, I've planted now a lot of flowers in. All the summer bulbs are coming up, and I've also added in some, you know, other mixed flowers, some nicotiana, and I think these are my corn flowers. I think they are self-sown from last year. So I've got a little space by here that I need to pop something in, so I'm gonna have a look at what I've got in the greenhouse that's spare. So the one thing I do want to show you though is that these lettuces, most of them are looking lovely. You know, I've had a few pickings, but I noticed a lot of decay as well. And when I lifted up this one, I thought it was cutworm, because the stem's been eaten away. But when you look, there is some red ants in the area, so I don't know whether or not the ants are doing it or it was cutworm. But then I lifted up this one and there's a slug, so I don't actually know what it is. You know, is it ants, is it slugs, is it cutworm? So if you do know, pop it below and let me know what your suggestions are, what it could be. It's not all of them, but it's some of them. So these will go to the chickens now. But these ones seem to be okay so far. Another disaster is that I'm really disappointed in the garlic this year. I bought all this garlic, especially so many different varieties, and it's got rust, so that will impede on the harvest. Hopefully they'll get a good harvest from them, but I'm disappointed in them. The only one that hasn't been affected really is the elephant garlic, but the other elephant garlic and the Russian garlic off Terry King, they're looking fine. They're looking perfect. I've obviously fed the slugs with the pongo beans. So yeah, all this weather is feeding the slugs. Nobody ever has a perfect plot, I promise you. You can think you're going to get it and you won't. There'll always be problems like rust, bindweed, mare's tail, slugs, aphids, you name it, you'll get it. So yeah, but you just keep battling through, and hopefully nature will leave you a few for you to try as well. So right, let's have a look what I can harvest, because I'm going to take some home as well, and I've still got a few things to do, like weeding, planting. There's always loads to do. Oh, and also I built this. So I had some spare tunnel hoops from First Tunnels. They sent me the wrong ones. My own fault, I ordered the wrong ones, and they sent me them, and these are like a 5 foot, I think, width. They're the same width as that I use for the mini polytunnel, and they've been sat down there and they don't fit in the beds. I was thinking, like, what can I do with them? And then the one day someone offered me some of these poles, these smaller poles down here, and they happened to slot in place. So I had 4 poles, and I already had this galvanized mesh, this thick, heavy duty. So I cut it into, you know, the shape that I needed, which was like 6 squares across, and I just cable tied it on, and then I used some metal tape just to keep all the parts together, and it's really sturdy. It's so sturdy. It looks shop bought, so I'm really happy with it. So another arch for the plot. So yeah, you know, it's nice to be recycling and using things that you would usually throw away. So another arch, and it's wide. It'll be perfect for the other sweet peas that I've got growing, which I think I'm going to plant out today. Also, there was drama here the other day. So I was on the plot and I was building this archway, and I could hear buzzing. It was going crazy. I thought someone was, cutting their grass or something. And I looked up, and there was this swarm of bees, you know, literally a couple of feet away from me. So I thought, I moved away, and they kept edging down, and then they moved to another plot. Then they came back. So as always, I called Mark, and Mark came over in his suit. And it's fascinating what they do, you know. he popped his suit on, went over there with a cardboard box, left a gap, and you can literally, they're in that dormant state that's just protecting the queen, and he just kept moving them into the box, hoping that the queen would be in, you know, the bees that he would put it into the box. And once he did, all of them stayed in the box. Then he came over at night and then he put them in one of his hives. So he had 3 bees, you know, and he protected, you know, he saved them from, you know, swarming off somewhere else, and they were looking for somewhere to be safe, and rain was due that night as well. So well done, Mark, for doing that, as always. So yeah, there's always something going on here, you know. I almost got killed by bees. Good morning, Scylla. So I think it's fair to say that I've had a good harvest today. Eggs, some nice spring cabbage, some strawberries, spring onions, and some salads. Right, let's go home and enjoy this. Take care, guys, and I'll see you all again soon.